So for the last spec, this is what I'm suggesting you guys try. We're going to go ahead and take 3 points in the corruption tree. We're going to take 21 points in the madness tree. And as you can see, you're just going to go up to the death mark. The only talents you're not going to take is Sith Defiance, Oppressing Force, and Corrupted Flesh. And take everything else with max points all the way to death mark. And then in lightning, you're going to take 3 of 3 convection, 2 of 3 electric induction, 2 of 2 of this talent I still can't figure out how to pronounce, lightning spire, lightning barrier, subversion, lightning barrage, chain lightning, lightning storm, and just 1 point in lightning fusion. Now, once you're spec'd, here's how you need to play this spec. So first of all, your death field will put the debuff on the target, the death mark. So you want to make sure you use that every cooldown. You also want to make sure you keep your affliction up because you do have the lightning barrage talent, so it will proc. Now from there, you're going to be watching for a couple of things. As soon as your wrath proc is up, which should be up every time you cast Force Lightning, 9 out of 10 times it'll be up every time. If Crushing Darkness is available, it always takes priority. You're going to cast that. If it is on the cooldown, you're going to substitute it for a Lightning Strike. The other thing you're going to watch for, every time you do your Lightning Strike, there's a percentage chance that your instant chain lightning will proc. And naturally, as soon as that happens, you're going to want to use that up as well. So let's give it a whirl, see what we do for DPS with this spec, and see how our force bar ends up. So get the instance out of the way, and then you start casting Force Lightning until you get the proc. With this spec, you do not want to be casting anything non-instantly other than Force Lightning. Keep that in mind. That's the entire point of this whole spec, pretty much. You will be unlucky once in a while and it won't proc, but 9 out of 10 times, like I said, every time you cast Force Lightning, you should get a Wrath to work. And there we go, there was the chain proc. Now the beauty of the spec is that it's mobile enough to where you can pretty much cast everything that you need to, on the go, because your only non-instant spell is Chain Lightning or Force Lightning. Everything else you're gonna do, you can cast on the run. The other very nice benefit of this spec is that you do get Death Mark and you do get all the dots, but unlike the balance spec that we saw runs out of force pretty quickly, my force bar is also not moving down very much. And keep in mind, this is only with 1 point in Lightning Effusion. So if I had 2 points in there, I'd probably be sitting at 100 the entire combat. Now for damage wise, I don't know if you can see my damage meter, but it looks like I'm doing currently 1100 DPS, just short of 1100 DPS. So it's more damage. It's just as mobile. And you can sustain your rotation indefinitely. And you get basically all 3 AoEs in the game. So you have the Death Field, and then you have Chain Lightning, and of course you have your Force Storm. that also procs up instant chain lightning. Okay, I'm gonna stop and see what my DPS stops at. And it looks like I'm at 1019, and that's with the delay. So when I really stopped, it would have been around 1100, again with no raid buffs. I never ran out of force, I did good enough damage, and I have massive AoE capability. Self-healing back, a debuff, and a lot of instant procs. So, in my opinion, out of the 3 specs that we just tested, for PvE DPS, the hybrid's clearly a winner. It allows you for the most versatility, most mobility. It still keeps your force bar full. It gives you every single AoE in the game. There's just, the only downside to it is, I mean, when you have to PvP with it, it's not great. And the reason I say it's not great only because compared to the balance spec, you lose the 2-second root, and compared to the lightning spec, there's no even comparing. Lightning spec is near worthless in PvP unless the entire team is blind. They're letting you stand there and cast. It's the only way you're going to PvP with a lightning spec. So this is going to conclude this little test series, and hopefully it was useful to some of you and kind of gave you a little bit of insight of, just looking at the lands here, I gave you a little bit of an insight of what you can expect when you spec into one of these specs going forward. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please like the button, comment, rate, subscribe, and as always, have a good day. До свидания. Sasha Rash out.